Have you ever wondered if you're a medium? And if you are, how will you know? In today's video, I'm sharing 8 signs that might identify you as a medium. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and the bell. That way you'll be notified the next time I release a new video. I release how-tos for spirit communication, meditations, and you can even watch my own readings and see me in action. For years, I was using clairaudience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, without even knowing it. Receiving spiritual impressions and using your intuition is so subtle that most people don't even know they're doing it or that they can do it. Usually, they assume it's just their imagination. Sign number 1, you can feel and sense other people's emotions. Yes, you might think of this as being empathic, and if you're a medium, the chances are you are an empath. But as a medium, you'll have a heightened ability to sense someone else's emotional state, also known as clairsentience. And maybe not just their emotional state, but the general cause or causes behind their emotions as well. That's a little sprinkle of claircognizance. An example of this is being introduced to someone for the first time and getting a really clear sense of their current emotional state. Or perhaps you are meeting up with a friend and before you even come in contact with them, you start to sense their heightened excitement about something, and perhaps you even know in particular what it's about. Sign number 2, you often know the end of someone's story before they finish telling it. Perhaps you're in conversation with someone you don't even know and they're in the middle of sharing something with you and you can already sense or hear what they're about to say. Try not to be that person who bursts their bubble by rattling off the end of the story before they get to tell it themselves. Or maybe it's not even when you meet people. Maybe there's other stories you are participating in, watching a movie or reading a book where you already sense what the ending is going to be, and especially when it's not predictable. Sign number 3, you hear next steps and what others might perceive as unique ideas very clearly and very suddenly. This is the main way that I realized I was clairaudient and had been using my clairaudience for some time. I remember telling my clients when I was previously working as an online marketing strategist to put a timer on for 3 minutes, get quiet, and you'll just hear the action steps you need to take for the day. Of course, this was within the context of other strategies and systems that I had taught to my clients remarketing. But in order for them to prioritize and know where to spend their time, this is one of the hacks that I would recommend. Only I remember a lot of my clients saying things to me like, what do you mean you'll hear the next steps? I don't hear the next steps. And this was virtually how I built my entire previous business. I would quiet my mind and within a few minutes have about 5 or 6 things that I instantly knew were the right moves to make to start making money in my business. And it might not just be action steps, but ideas that seem highly creative or unique to other people. And perhaps a somewhat unbelievable synchronicity comes along with them when you start to implement. Of course, it would be quite obvious if you hear spirit communicating with you. Maybe you hear names sometimes when you're talking to a friend and their grandmother or their mother is around them. Perhaps you've been around someone before and you've been able to hear something about a medical condition for someone who passed for them. These are all different ways of hearing spirit and getting quick downloads. Sign number 4, you can tell when someone is lying. If you feel like you are a human lie detector, you might be a medium. This has always been one of my top 2 signs that I am a medium. I feel like I can smell a lie a mile away. Now, I might not always know exactly what's fishy, but I definitely feel like I almost always know when something feels a little bit off. Which of these signs resonate with you the most so far? What experiences have you had that might have made you question whether or not you have mediumistic skills? Sign number 5, you get a clear sense of your environment. Have you ever walked into a room and it just felt tense? Like maybe an argument had just taken place. Or maybe you have a favorite place to visit because as soon as you get into that environment, it feels peaceful, like a retreat. Maybe you've arrived somewhere before and immediately wanted to leave because something about it felt unsafe or dangerous. Another example of this is I can often feel the collective energy of a group when I'm giving a group reading, whether it's virtual or it's in person. I make it a point to let everybody know that readings go best when there's harmony between every person at the reading. I might say a little prayer to start the reading and tell them to imagine being in harmony with each other. And then I can sense the environment of that reading to make sure we're all good to go. Sign number 6, you receive visions or video reels about somebody's life, a place you haven't been, or an event, past, present, or future. I'm often shown moments of connection between two people before one of them has passed. So it might be hands holding in the hospital or the final hug. I've also had moments around people who I don't get a good feeling from, where I see repeated circumstances that are akin to their habits that are likely to harm me if I stay too close. For example, the day that I met my husband, I also met another person, and I got these quick flashes of multiple office affairs and a troublesome relationship with this person's mother. It all happened quite quickly, and my husband ended up sharing with me 6 months later that this person had resigned from their office for having multiple office affairs. One of my favorite examples here too is getting visions about a location before you go. When a medium practices this, it's called remote viewing. So you might close your eyes and ask for impressions that give you information about a location that you're on your way to. Number 7, deja vu, especially with people you haven't met and places you haven't been before. More often than not, I have a very strong sense of having known the people I meet in my life, especially the ones I end up being the closest to, the moment that I meet them. I have a joke with any number of my friends that we've known each other long before we actually met. Or maybe you've gone somewhere and you felt that you've already been there before. When I experience deja vu and it has to do with a physical location, a lot of times it comes along with the smell of the location as well, I've noticed. Number 8, you share information without thinking that you didn't know you knew. Have you ever gotten into a conversation before and all of a sudden knowledge that you didn't know you knew just started coming out of your mouth without thinking? This happened to me constantly in my previous business when I was teaching my marketing course. We always had Q&A time, and I had plenty of times where students asked me questions and I initially thought, I'm not sure I have the answer to that. And once I opened my mouth, things started pouring out that I didn't know that I knew. This happens constantly in readings when I'm giving a message to my sitter from spirit. It comes out quite quickly, and I tell my sitter, I'm hearing it the way you're hearing it for the very first time. It's not a moment where I'm thinking about what I'm going to say. This can also happen during automatic writing, for example, and you'll definitely know that it is happening if you see yourself use words that you don't actually know the definition to. If you're interested in strengthening your clairs so you can speak to spirit, download my free guide below. It's called 3 Easy Exercises to Strengthen Your Clairs and Speak to Spirit. You can also check out mediumshipwithmel.com to book private readings, group readings, or check out my development circle if you want to learn right along with me. Be sure to check out this video next. If you like this video, comment below. Tell me what was most helpful. Don't forget to like this video if you do, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified the next time I release a new video about all things mediumship.